The auction was held in the shadow of Raxir Prime's industrial graveyard, an asteroid-riddled backwater where things unregistered, unloved, and unclaimed ended up. The girl was barely 16 cycles old. They called her Lot 87. Her wrists were shackled in rusted ion bands, her eyes dulled by sleep deprivation and malnutrition. Slumped between crates of overripe fallen fruit, she was traded not for credits, not even for tech, but for 4 baskets of fermenting produce. The merchant shrugged. "She's not even fully grown," he said. "Good for parts, maybe. Or experiments." The buyer grunted, tossed over the rotting fruit, and dragged the girl away by the collar of her threadbare tunic. No one cared. No one but him. Carter Briggs had seen a lot in his years as a smuggler. Slave pits on Gorak, 7. Illegal biotech labs buried beneath Martian dust, children fitted with dampening chips to serve as living weapons. But this was different. He hadn't meant to stop. He'd only come to Raxir to refuel and offload 2 crates of stolen mycroplasma cores. The fruit market stank like rot and desperation, but his contact insisted on meeting there. Then he saw her, small, thin, her silver skin marred with bruises. One eye was swollen shut. The way she didn't cry out when the buyer pulled her, just stared blankly forward. "Who is she?" Carter asked. The fruit vendor glanced over. "Zarati, bio-bred from off-world. Her colony was wiped out in the Ether Rebellions. She's got no registry." "She got a name?" The vendor shrugged. "She ain't worth one." An hour later, Carter followed the buyer's rust bucket hover hauler into the scrapyard hills outside the settlement. He waited until the slaver was alone, lighting a gut-leaf stick near a junk fire. Carter moved fast, silent, and when the man turned, it was to a stun blast to the chest. Carter caught the girl before she could run. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said gently. "I saw what they did. I'm going to get you out of here." Her one good eye narrowed. "Everyone says that." "I'm not everyone." She didn't believe him, but she didn't resist when he cut off her shackles. Her name was Ori. She didn't say it for days. Carter gave her his spare cot aboard the Kestrel, his aging hauler ship. She barely touched the food rations at first, only nibbling at rehydrated root stew and dry nutcakes. She flinched whenever he moved too fast. She never slept more than an hour at a time. But she didn't run. That was something. "I'm taking you to the Terran core," Carter told her one night, watching stars crawl past the viewport. "There's a refugee processing hub on New Geneva. Real doctors. Real food. No more chains." Ori stared at the stars. "They'll just sell me again." "Not this time." "You don't know what I am." "I don't care." She looked at him, then really looked, and Carter saw a flicker of something in her eye. Hope. No. Not yet. But the ashes of it. Maybe that was enough to start. They were 3 jumps out from New Geneva when the bounty ping hit. Carter was cleaning the hull sensors when the comm crackled. Unregistered Zarati female. Escaped asset. Reward, 60,000 credits, dead or alive. Attached was a crude image of Ori, taken just days ago. The bruises still visible. Carter swore. 60,000 was enough to buy a new ship, clean records, and an entire lifetime off-grid. He stared at the message for a long minute. Then he deleted it. "Don't you even think about it," he muttered to himself and went back to work. But someone else had already seen the alert. The bounty hunters hit them in Sector Zeta, 5. 3 ships, fast and angry, their transponders hidden behind false trader IDs. Carter was ready, barely. He spun the Kestrel hard to port, cut power to the rear thrusters to fake a reactor failure, then fired twin torpedoes right through the lead ship's underbelly. The others weren't so easy. Blaster fire riddled the outer hull. Lights flickered. Alarm screamed. Ori huddled in the corridor, clutching the emergency medpack. Then something changed. A strange hum vibrated through the floor. The lights dimmed, then turned blue. Carter burst into the hall just in time to see her standing in front of the command console. Her hand hovered above the controls, eyes glowing faintly. "What are you doing?" he gasped. Her voice was quiet, steady. "I'm Zarati. We were bred to interface with biotech. Your ship isn't just tech. It listens. And now it listens to me." Before he could speak, the weapons array surged to life. Twin plasma lances struck the enemy ships. Their shields collapsed. A moment later, both vessels were space dust. Carter blinked. "Remind me never to piss you off." Ori swayed on her feet. He caught her before she fell. She slept for a full day after that. Carter didn't leave her side. When she woke, she looked older somehow. Stronger. Or maybe he was just finally seeing the person beneath the dirt, fear, and silence. "I didn't know I could still do that," she said. "The Zarati were bred for war. Living weapons. I thought that part of me was broken." Carter knelt beside her. "It's not broken. It's yours. And it's not who you have to be." Her eyes welled with tears. Not of fear, relief. They reached New Geneva 3 days later. The refugee intake officer raised a brow when Carter registered Ori under his guardian license. "She's classified as a bioweapon species." "You sure about this, sir?" "Could bring trouble." Carter put a hand on Ori's shoulder. "I'm sure." Weeks passed. Ori changed. Her silver skin glowed with renewed health. Her voice grew stronger. She laughed. Once, then again, and then like she was making up for lost years. She enrolled in the Tech Academy, where she stunned professors by intuitively repairing complex neural net systems. But one night, Carter found her alone by the station's edge, staring at the stars again. "Do you ever regret it?" she asked. "Regret what?" "Not taking the bounty." 60,000 credits. That's a lot. Carter chuckled. 60,000 credits buys a ship. Maybe a quiet life. But you've got a whole future. You're worth more than all the ships in the galaxy. Ori's voice broke. No one ever said that before. "Well," he said, wrapping an arm around her shoulders, "they're gonna start. Just wait." 3 months later, the Terran Council voted to lift the bioweapon classification on Zarati refugees. Ori testified in front of the Senate, her voice clear, calm, undeniable. She wore a simple silver robe, her hair braided in the style of her lost people. Carter watched from the crowd, pride swelling in his chest. She was no longer a lost girl traded for garbage. She was a survivor, a leader, a symbol, and to him, she'd always be the kid who looked up at him with bruised eyes and whispered, "They said I wasn't worth anything." And he'd whispered back, "They were wrong."